and welcome to Kenya for the 18th edition of the World Athletics Under-20 Championships. Postponed for a year, this will be the second biggest athletics event on the calendar. And that is exactly why we're all so excited for all the action over the next 5 days. Well, this year's championships are taking place around 1,600 metres above sea level in Nairobi, the capital of Kenya, which has also played host to the World Under-18 Championships back in 2017. Nairobi is a city which prides itself on a vibrant athletics history and a population that loves track and field. Athletics really is a religion here. And this week, the athletes will be based just 12 kilometres from the city and 25 kilometres from Nairobi's National Park, which is home to all members of the Big Five and is one of the most successful sanctuaries for black rhinos in the world. The National Park boasts a beautiful backdrop of the Nairobi skyline, which is also something very unique to this city. It all kicked off this morning with some exciting mixed 4x4 100, 4x400 metre heats, where Nigeria dominated with a championship record, and a strong display from the recently crowned Heptathlon champion, Javelin, picking up where she left off in Estonia. The Casanari Stadium then at the Moi International Sports Centre is going to be home to our athletes for the next 5 days, and when allowed can host a capacity crowd of 60,000 fans. No fans this time, but myself, Rachel Stringer, and my co-commentator, former world 1500 metre silver medalist Hannah England, are on hand to bring you all the action. First to this, the opening ceremony from last night. Hannah, welcome. Doesn't this look like something we would have liked to have attended if we were there in Nairobi? It looks colourful. There's dancing, there's singing, there's music, there are flares. It's all going off, isn't it, Hannah?
It looks lovely, and it was great to see some of the athletes there getting a chance to parade their flags and soak up the atmosphere. But what a shame there's not a crowd to soak it up and that we can't be there experiencing it as well. But it looks like they've done an absolutely brilliant job at this opening ceremony.
Athletes always love the opening ceremony, don't they? And obviously Lord Seb Coe, we saw there, President of World Athletics, he was on hand saying how important these Under-20 World Championships are going forward for these juniors to progress into their senior careers as well. Parading around the Casanari Stadium, of course, and these women are already in the stadium and getting ready for their pole vault final. The women's pole vault final is the first event on track this afternoon, in this afternoon session, and it's going to be our first field event final. So our first medalists are going to come from this event, and we have some great names competing in this final as well. Emma Brentel of France. She was second in the European Under-20 Championships just a few weeks ago. She's got her compatriot Elise Roos as well. She's the Under-18 French champion. And we've got some Greek athletes. We know the Greek history in this event as well. So there is so much to look out for. We can't wait to get started on this one. The girls are warming up, and whilst they do, we'll have a look at the timetable and see exactly what action you can expect from this afternoon session here in Nairobi. So 8 events in store for you with 3 finals this afternoon. Our first, as we mentioned, is the women's pole vault at 4 o'clock. Then our second final of the afternoon, 5:15, the mixed 4x4 100-metre relays, we saw the heats earlier on there. And our final event this afternoon at 5:45 is the first ever men's 3,000 metres final. And we, of course, have a few semi-finals in there, very exciting semi-finals, men's and the women's 100-metre semi-finals. So we have so much action to bring you over the next 2.5 hours or so. We really hope you enjoy this one as much as we enjoyed our first morning session, which got underway earlier on. And Hannah, we saw some great events earlier, didn't we? And especially the women's heptathlon, that got underway and it was very exciting. I mentioned it in the opener. Javelin from Finland has been on top form as she was in Estonia only about 5 weeks ago now.
She has. She's looked really, really good, and it's been great to see her come to this world level and bring the same energy that she brought to that championships in Estonia. It's really unfolding into a great women's heptathlon.
Yeah, absolutely, as we'll bring you up to speed on those ladies a little bit later, because they get back underway with a shot put at 4:05. But we also have the javelin as well. So much going on. We have 2 qualification groups in the men's javelin. One at 4:15, then one a little bit later at 5:05. India then, they'll be wanting to live up to their recent Olympic champion, Chopra. Of course, he was featuring in the under-20s.
So we are going to see these ladies for the women's pole vault final. Rachel highlighted a few, but it is fantastic to have this women's pole vault final at the start of this second session at the World Junior Championships. You can see where they were going to get some entries. So here we go. Nikki Ioannidou from the Czech Republic. She's got a personal best of 4:10, 10th at the European Juniors. She's the Czech under-18 champion. Next up will be Emma Brentel, French athlete. We mentioned her at the start of the programme. She's ranked #1 with that 4:30, second at the European Junior Championships.
Okay, and third to come out then, Anastasia Retsa from Greece. We know the Greek history in this event. The PB of 4:14, season best of 4:7. Then from Argentina, Ioannidou as well, a PB of 4:07.
And the second of our Greek athletes, Iliana Triumphilio, she's done 4:12. She went to the European Junior Championships, but she'll be looking to improve today. And Mira Reinstorff from South Africa, South African champion, personal best of 4:12.
And another athlete from France, Alice Roos, 6th in the Euro Under-20 Championships only a few weeks ago. And next from Canada, we have Heather Abadi. Her mum is an Olympic hurdler, so she has athletics in her blood. Then finally from Hungary, Petra Garam-Volgili, PB of 4:20.
But I wonder if that'll be the first time those ladies have experienced that entry. It's fun to see World Athletics do this. They've grown that concept over the last few years, but you can see a few nerves. You know, what do I do? Do I smile? Do I wave? Do I strike a pose? But I thought they all negotiated it really well, but I'm excited to see how they attack the competition as well.
Is that something, Hannah, you would have enjoyed when you were competing, or something you would have got quite worried about?
I would have thought, oh, this is just a waste of time. Let's not compete. I was a bit too old school. I don't think I would survive as a modern athlete nowadays. You've got to accept these innovations, and I think it's really ingrained now, and I really enjoy it, particularly in the relays when you get a whole squad coming out together. Hopefully, we'll see that in the mixed relay final later.
They really choreograph, don't they, in the relays, their routine when they come out, and then you suddenly see someone doesn't quite get it, and it makes the audience laugh, I feel, as well. But that's the South African then on your screens that you just saw there. This is the Hungarian athlete, Petra Garam-Volgili. Oh, here we go. 2 of the Greek athletes. We have 2 featuring, which is always so exciting, Hannah. But, I mean, the strength in depth in this field is something that's pretty exciting. And these girls as well will know each other so well. I think that's what everybody's starting to realise about the field events, and especially the pole vault events. They have so much fun, don't they?
There's a lot of camaraderie in the field events, and I think pole vault, it's growing strength to strength year on year, whether it be these in-stadium competitions or the street competitions they have. They're really showcasing their event really well, and I love to see those friendships grow, and we see that, and hopefully for these ladies this will be the first in a start of a career altogether as they move through the age group ranks.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, a bit of time then for these ladies just to familiarise themselves with the track here. Some of these athletes did actually land in Nairobi quite a few weeks ago. I think it was a Polish team, actually. No Polish athlete in this pole vault. They were the first team to arrive in Nairobi. I believe it was last Tuesday. So they've been able to be around and kind of get themselves acclimatised for quite a while now, which is quite important when you're coming from, you know, quite far away. It's a long flight for these athletes to experience. Some of them have to come to terms with the time difference and, you know, really get their body clock on the right time. But the Greek athletes, not so much. There'll be 1 or 2 hours time difference for them, like we are in the UK, only 2 hours behind Nairobi time. So not a great lot of difference for the Europeans, but some of the athletes from the Caribbean, for example, will have a lot of work to do in trying to get themselves sorted out. But we're going over now what looks like to the women's heptathlon, because their third event is getting underway, Hannah. The shot put. They've all got a strong event and all a weak event. The shot put's one of the ones that girls don't always enjoy as much.
I'd say their least favourite in the heptathlon would probably still be the 800. We see the multi-eventers really struggling towards the end of it, but it's a tremendous event having that collaboration of all those different events. We are still on this women's pole vault, and just a note on, you touched on it with the Greek tradition in this event. We've got Katerina Stefanidi, was the Olympic champion in Rio. She was just 4th place in Tokyo, but she's also a previous medalist from these World Junior Championships, as were the 2nd and 3rd places in the Tokyo Olympics. We had Sidorova, she was 4th at the World Juniors in 2010. Holly Bradshaw picked up a bronze at the World Juniors, and she progressed to a bronze at the Olympic Championships this year. But we are underway in this women's pole vault. I believe the bar is starting at 380. That's a first time failure for Nikki Jonidou of Czech Republic. Just checking her pole placement. These athletes rely so much on the technical feedback from their coaches. We saw a coach earlier FaceTiming someone else, and I wonder if that was a technical input. I think that was in the men's hammer, but Jonidou going to the side, you can see they're trying to give her that coaching feedback to help her make those adjustments needed to get over this height.
Yeah, you need as much help as you can get sometimes, especially if things don't go right at the beginning of the event. Then you have to go and ask and say, what do you think's going wrong? I'm sure at this stage in their careers, you know, a lot of these athletes are 18 and 19, they will have had some experience, but this could be their first ever international competition, so might need still a little bit of a helping hand as well.
What I think is great in the senior pole vault competitions, you often see them peer coaching. They'll help each other. If they haven't got an agent or a coach, or you're part of their coaching team there with them, they might help each other. But I think today these women will be relying on coaching from the side, whether it be a team coach or their personal coach. But this is Anastasia Retsa. She's 2nd in the Greek under-20 championships to her teammate that is here, Iliana Triantafilo. She was the champion at just 16 years old, but Retsa at 17 was 2nd place. First attempt at this opening height of 3 meters 80. She was the Balkan under-20 champion. She still had a good summer, picking up some good podium finishes.
Yeah, super young, aren't they? From Athens, originally, Retsa. 4-time champion in Greece, and she only came 2nd, though, in the Greek under-20 championships. I believe she was outdone by her countrywoman, who's also featuring here today. We'll talk a little bit about her in a short while. Oh, struggling at that opening height, though. Bit shocked at that as well, Hannah. Okay, here are the heptathlon standings after 2 out of the 7 events. So Saga Valinin of Finland 1989, 1,989 points, her lead at the moment. 129 points difference from the second place athlete, the Austrian Sophie Kreiner, who's on 1,860 points. And third place, as it stands, is a knock from Estonia, 1,855 points, 134 points back from Vananen. So a lot still to play for in this women's heptathlon. We'll bring you up to speed fully on that in a short while.
It's our first look at Luciana Gomez Arondo of Argentina. She is a South American under-20 champion. I think she was 6th place at South American Senior Championships, which is really exciting for a 17-year-old. Took the under-20 kind of regional title. Just getting herself prepared. It looks pretty still in the stadium. I think wind can often be very problematic for pole vaulters, and they've got a minute to take their jump, so they need to find the right time mentally to prepare for that, but also with the conditions to optimise their chance of getting over the bar. And the athletes, traditionally, they'll use different bars at different heights. So this might be sort of their starting pole. Finding your timing and your rhythm is very important in this event. We've seen 3 first-time failures at this opening height. So Gomez Arondo also failing at this first height. But I think these women, they will need to get a feel for the runway and for their rhythm. And you can see she has the height, but she doesn't have it at the right point over the bar. So she'll need to adjust that run up, use the coaching support to adjust that run up.
Well, we're back now then on the women's shot put heptathlon as well. This is their third event. This is Sleva Visut from Lithuania. So as it stands, after 2 events going into this one, the Lithuanian athletes currently in 4th position with 1,852 points to her name. The same stage of competition at the European under-20s. She was 5th with 1,848, so slightly better positioning than a few weeks back for the Lithuanian athlete, currently sitting in 4th. Let's see what she can do in the shot put. See some spectators there in the crowd, whether it will be teammates getting a feel for the stadium or coaches supporting the athletes out there competing. That is our crowd for today. It will be the teammates and the coaching staff of the competing nations. Well, this is the women's 100 metres semi-final then. Athlete in lane 3, Batawanji from Sri Lanka. PB of 185. Lane 3, Nimchik from Poland with a PB of 1170, the Polish athlete. European under-20 silver medalist Ivana Ilic from Serbia. She won heat 5. Melache from Romania goes in lane 5. She was 2nd in heat number 1. In lane 6, Teje from Dominican Republic, 3rd in heat number 1. Tina Clayton then, the 17-year-old under-20 Jamaican champion, the winner of heat 4 in 11.5. Kilmanen of Finland goes in lane 8. And finally, Michenkova from the Czech Republic, 11.76, her best, is in lane 9. They are 8 athletes then in this first semi-final of the women's 100 metres. So Sri Lanka in lane 2, Poland in 3, Serbia 4, Romania 5, Dominican Republic 6, Jamaica 7, Finland 8, and the Czech Republic in 9. 2 automatic qualifiers from each heat to the final, and 2 fastest runners up.
Set.
Here we go then. The ladies storming away in this first semi-final. A really strong run for Tina Clayton, as we'd expect. And Ivan Ilic as well, going strong. 1-2 they finish. Jamaica from Serbia. Well, Tina Clayton was a winner of Heat 4. And Ilic was the winner of Heat 5. So the winners from the heats taking 1 and 2 in the semi-finals. Tina Clayton, though, was super strong. Maybe not the quickest out of the blocks here. The first 10 meters, she was slightly behind, but stormed away as we got to the middle end of this race. Then really grabbed the race by the scruff of the neck in the last 10 or so meters from Ilic. The national junior record holder, Ilic, of course. So Tina Clayton then, 17-year-old walking out of your picture. Should be competing in those finals. First 2 will do so.
I think it's great. I think Tina Clayton's got a bit more in the tank there. You said it, with a conservative start. It's going to be really interesting to see if she can build on that as she goes into the final. But Ilic has really approached it really professionally, I think, really nailed every round. But it was great to see those two against each other, and it'll be exciting to look towards the final. But we will take one more look at the women's shot put that's underway with the heptathlon.
Absolutely, let's have a look. Saga Vananen then, our leader at the moment in the shot put here. Ooh, just looking at her facial expressions there to see what she made of that one. 14.90. It's Valentin's personal best. Kind of walks off a bit dejected. We'll have to wait and see what that equates to. That throw there goes straight over to her coaches. 13.30. A little bit under what she'd have liked. 14.90 there. That is her first attempt, of course, out of 3.
Next we'll see Sophie Kreiner, Austria. 3rd place at the moment. She's got a personal best of 13.66 from indoors this year, so that didn't look too far off that. And Kreiner disqualified in the first round of the European Junior Championships, hit a hurdle, fell over, and that was the end of that heptathlon, but doing so much better today. She had a slight PB in the hurdles earlier, and a decent 178 in the high jump as well. She doesn't look impressed with that, but it's a solid shot put. We'll wait for the distance to come up.
I just think, Hannah, they don't want to give anything away at the early stage of the competition. They don't want to show their competitors that they're happy or not so much with 12.46. That is Kreiner's first attempt there. Then let's go to the Hungarian athlete, Sabina Such, who is next on your screens. Love a little waving action of the hand which she's got there. The shuffle back, that's obviously the easier shot put to do for these ladies. It's not the same as we would see in the women's or the men's events later on. Is she happy with this? The Hungarian with a PB of 12.01. That is. And she gets 11.06. So just about a metre under where she'd like to be.
But maybe about getting that safe jump in, but here is a baddie. A Canadian athlete successfully attempting 3.80 meters. So this is still the first height that we've seen, and Heather Abadi, the first to go clear. Brand new outdoor personal best of 4.25. She's done the same height indoors. She's the indoor Canadian junior record holder with that 4.25. But a good clearance there. First time clearance as well for Abadi. That could count in her favour as we move through the competition, because the failures will count against these athletes when they try and figure out their overall standings. That will be used to figure out if they get the same height, they need to use that count back to figure that out.
Let's go to the results of the first semi-final of the women's 100 metres. Confirmation then that Jamaican Tina Clayton took the first spot with 11:34. The Serbian Ivana Ilic second with 11:50. The next two fastest will advance to the some of the finals, as well. We'll have to wait and see from the three semis who they will be.
And some women hoping to join those two in the final will be these women on track now. We've got Romanska of Poland, personal best of 11:70. She qualified as a fast, non-automatic qualifier with her 12 dead performance in Heat 2 earlier today. We've got Oza Chauskate of Lithuania, 11:75 this season. She was fourth in the first heat, another non-automatic qualifier. And then lane 4, we got Tima Gobles from Nigeria, 11:48 this season. She was beaten by Masalingi in Heat 2. She was second, a strong showing there. Victoria Forster from Slovakia, 11:61 this season. And in lane 6 is Beatrice Masalingi. She was the fastest qualifier from Namibia. She ran 11:20 earlier, big personal best and a big victory in the heats. In lane 7, we've got Karika Hill, just 16 years old from Jamaica. 11:65 to qualify for this, and she's the Jamaican under-20 hurdles champion. So sprint hurdler sometimes, but a flat runner today. So Gaia Bertola from Italy will be joining her in lane 8. She is 11:75 this season. And in lane 9 is Melissa Geschmutt from Switzerland, 11:47. Fast start in the heats, but couldn't quite transfer that into the second half of the race. Maybe she'll do it in this semi-final. Was our fastest qualifier being showed there, Beatrice Masalingi. Watch out for her in lane 6. No way, first time, fast start from Gobles. Gobles did this in the heat. She's looking good. She's got the lead at halfway, but here comes Masalingi. Masalingi, just like she did in the heats, powering through that second half. But what about Geschmidt there? Great finish from her. Celebrations from the Italian athlete. Botello liked her run as well. But it is Masalingi and Geschmidt will get those automatic qualifying spots into the final.
Well, God bless there, finishing up in 5th place after getting out so quickly in the block. She had a really short lead here with about 50 meters to go, and then she just got swallowed up by so many athletes, 4 to be precise, with Masalingi taking that victory comfortably. Not easing down though, like we saw in heat number 1 from Tina Clayton. But Masalingi there, she was the fastest coming into this. 10:39 was her winning time. She gives a little bit of a tap on the back to Gobles, who will not be going through to those finals because only 2 the next fastest athletes will make it through. So being 5th counts her out straight away. We're bringing you something new now, Hannah. Very excited for this one. We have a heat map of this women's 100-meter race. So it basically shows you where these athletes get to their fastest speed in the race, and that's when you see the red points here. So Masalingi gets out really quickly and gets to her fast speed at 25 meters and kind of continues that all the way to about 80 meters, which shows that she's going to be the winner, because look how fast or how long she stays red for. Forster there in lane 3 only gets to it around 30-40 meters, and that's the next one, as does Gobles. So actually looked like Gobles got out quickly, but her top speed was only about 30 meters. And then you saw in that graphic she faded, and unfortunate for her in the final stages of those 100 meters.
Yeah, really looking forward to using those graphics to reinforce what we're seeing with our eyes. It's really nice to see that behind it, but we have got the result there of the second semi-final of the women's 100 metres. That victory for Beatrice Masalingi in 11:35, for Melissa Geschmidt in 11:50, who had a nice kind of even speed. But a national record for Slovenian Forster with 11:54. Will that be enough to give her a non-automatic qualifying mark as one of the fastest times? We'll have to wait and see for one more heat.
Great national junior Slovakian record then for Forster. She'll be over the moon with that one, but we'll have to wait and see if that national record is enough for the final. It'll be a long wait, I'm sure. She'll be standing trackside, if allowed, waiting for semi-final number 3.
So we're back to the women's pole vault. Anastasia Retzer with her second attempt at 380. And that's better. You can see these athletes warming into this competition. They're going to have to sight where that bar is, sight how their run-up is going. But Anastasia Retzer safely over this time. Hopefully she can calm those nerves and move on with the competition. Retzer's a 4 meter 14 vaulter at her best. Just 4 meters 07 this season, but she's got her campaign off well there with a second time clearance at 4 meters 80. So Mira Renstorff, you can see her second attempt at 3 meters 80. And there we go. See the late. I really think these women are warming into this competition. I think we saw a lot of their first-time clearances. They had the height, but at the wrong point. And you can see Reinsdorf there. Nice, smooth clearance. She was a South African champion back in March. I think the South African Championships and their season is at a kind of weird time on the European level. We consider that abnormal. So having to peak again this late will be hard for these athletes. But Reinsdorf looked very good there.
There we go. So going strong in the final of the women's pole vault then. We'll keep you up to speed on exactly how that progresses. Some South African fans there possibly watching Reinsdorf, who we just watched go over that 380 mark in the pole vault. I'm sure a couple of the teammates will be down, really excited for these athletes to see if they can get some medals, but it's great to see some people supporting them in the stadium. We love to see that. This is the final semi-final of the women's 100 meters. Anna Persson-Anin from Finland. She has a personal best of 11.7. She goes in lane 2. In lane 3, Isabella Gudros from Canada. Her best time is 11.64. Quick time for that Canadian. Lane 4, Eva Kubakova from the Czech Republic. She's got PB in her heat to qualify for this. Lane 5 from Bahamas, Camille Rutherford. She won heat 1 with 11.59. Praise Ofuku from Nigeria. Nigerian under 20 silver medalist. Leah Bertrand, Trinidad and Tobago, goes in 7. Charlize Illard from South Africa, 11.67 in lane 8. And completing this lineup, lane 9, Maria Andri Chacon from Guatemala. Full house then in this third and final semi-final. All eyes, though, will be on Camille Rutherford from Bahamas. 11.32 is her best. She won that heat 1, remember? She'll be looking to go strong here. Last into the blocks as well, taking her time, which shows the confidence of this youngster.
Set.
We're away then in the third semi-final. Rutherford getting out strongly, as does the Nigerian Ofuku to her right-hand side, but it's Kubakova from the Czech Republic going strong as well. The Nigerian takes it though. Praise Ofuku from Nigeria. 11.61. Kubakova in second, Bertrand in 7. 11.61 though was that winning time. Nigerian really making a strong last 50 meter surge then to take top spot to make it through to the finals.
I didn't expect that. That was a surprise from that race. You can see Camille Rutherford, she looked so good in the first round. She eased down. I thought she was going to pull away here, but she came under a lot of pressure from Kubikova, the Czech Republic. And then Praise Ofoku just came through so well in that last 40 metres. There was a lot of pressure on Rutherford, and she didn't respond. She came away with that third place. We'll have to see if it's a non-automatic qualifying time, but it was automatic qualification for Ofoku and Kubikova. You can see what it means to the Nigerian team there in the stands. That's great to see.
That's absolutely great to see. She was the winner of Heat 2, 11:50, so had a really fast time, but 11:57 in this semi-final. Eva Kubikova, a season's best, 11:64. Camille Rutherford, though, the 11:72. We'll have to wait to see if she's fast enough in that third position at the moment in the third semi-final, if she makes it through. Two of the next fastest, of course, make it through from those three semi-finals we have just seen. But again, such great running. I wonder though, Hannah, at this stage, do some of the athletes just tighten up a bit because they do lack the experience? But again, maybe hopefully not lacking the experience from Zouk right now then in this event. This is her second round throw in the shot put. So we'll have to see exactly what she can do here. Zouk from Hungary, of course, 12:01.
Yes, but first, before that, Kreiner just getting her second round throw in. We were thrown by the photographer being focused, the cameraman being focused on Zouk. We'll let Kreiner get her second round throw out of the way so far, and second place overall at the moment. Coming under pressure in this event. Kreiner, 13:66, her best. 12:48 in the first round. What's her second round throw going to be? Hard to read that body language. You said it. How much are they giving away? Kreiner, 12:48. So a 2 centimetre improvement there for Kreiner. I think she'll be looking for more in that third round.
Here we go then. So Klara Kojak from Croatia, her third attempt. Best so far, 10:80. That's a PB then. Her PB before this was 10:53. So the 16-year-old producing her best ever throw at the World Under-20 Championships. PB will give extra points, of course, in this event. Let's see if she can better that PB even more in her third round. She has to wait anxiously with her coach. Is she going to improve even more on her 10:80 from the first round? Kojak, 10:46. No, so her first round effort was her best. So really putting all her effort into that first round throw was Kojak of Croatia. Must be happy the PB though, Hannah.
Yeah, good to get a PB out of the way. And just for context, as we look at these different women and how they're stacked in this leaderboard, 20 centimetres is about 13 points. So if that, that gives you any gauge in there, those 1 or 2 centimetre differences won't make a big difference. But Mukbarod here with her third round throw, sitting on a best of 10:48 from her second round, which was a PB. Equal PB, I think, 10:48. See, throwing in trainers. That's you would expect them to have shot put shoes, but competing in what they're comfortable in just shows the rawness of the athletes at this level, at junior level. Mukbarod having a good day so far. And it's a 10:32 for her third round, so her best distance will be 10:48. Walking away from the third event with a personal best.
So Javelin in there, you can see, hasn't put a foot wrong at the moment, has she? 13:30, her best again in this first round. Best of 14:90, what can she produce in her third and final attempt? Ooh, it hit what looks like that 12-metre line there. Body language hunched a little bit forward, not sure she's super happy with that one, but leading all the same. But again, I'm betting she wants to add a lot of points to her overall tally.
Yeah, and I think we saw a shot there of her defaulting, of her purposely fouling that throw, saving someone from measuring it. It's interesting this because for me, she's still in the lead. She's still in contention to win this World Junior Championships. We said we've had some Finnish medalists, but this body language, I think she's after more today. I think she wanted another personal best. She wanted another plus 6,000 point score. But she's really unhappy with that shot put.
Yeah, she found it, like you said, on purpose. Didn't want it measured. Which shows exactly, I guess, the kind of competitor that she is. She just wants more all the time. She's not happy with average or below her best. You know, she wants to better her best, as all these athletes do, of course.
So Reiner's third round throw there. She's on 12.48 from her second round. That's her, but she looks frustrated. Really deflation there from our athletes currently in the medal positions. Perhaps she thought that was a bit of an opportunity to claw back some points on Vananen. She didn't manage it. 12.48 in the second round. It's over a metre down on her best, so you can see where the frustration might come in.
Here we go, the third and final throw then for Sabina Zuc from Hungary. Can she better her attempts so far? 11.45 is her best attempt in the second round. Don't think it looks quite as long. We're just going by those white measuring tapes on the floor there. It's hard to see when we aren't measuring it ourselves, Hannah, and not even in the stadium. It's quite hard to see. Quite a few miles away from Nairobi, aren't we, in this athletic stadium? Oh, she's equally slapping her thighs in disappointment.
It's so interesting. The mental strength it takes to deliver over 7 events is so draining, and you can see their frustration when it doesn't come off. At 10.41 there for Zuc in the third round. She will finish the 11.45, still third overall. That's still a very good showing, but perhaps these top three have left themselves a little bit vulnerable. If anyone has a big day in the shot, let's see what Cahoot can do. Disappointment in the first event in the hurdles. Clattered one of the hurdles. She did finish, so she did score points, and she is still in the competition. It's her third and final throw in the shot put. She's already done a PB of 10.80 in the first round. Apologies. She's done 10.81, which wasn't a PB. She's looking to extend that 10.81 in this final round. Compatriot Saga Vananen with a commanding lead so far, but is a foul throw for the second Finnish athlete in this competition. She will finish with 10.81, currently 5th place in this women's heptathlon as we finish this third and final round.
Hannah, can I ask you why they are so disappointed? Would you be disappointed with a PB if you were leading? Were you the kind of athlete who was really hard on themselves? Well, look at the standings as well, and then you can possibly give me a bit of an insight into why they are so hard on themselves. Saga Vananen then, the Finnish athlete, still ranking first in the shot put. So that was 13.30, so she takes 747 points from that. Sophie Kreiner, the Austrian, in second, 12.48 her best. And Sabina Zuc, the Hungarian, in third with 11.45. Couple of PBs in there as well from Klara Kojak, 10.80. And the Ukrainian Valeria Mokhobrod, PB of 10.48. Those two athletes must be pretty happy. Quickly have a look at the overall standings after 3 events in this women's heptathlon. Vananen was leaving after 2 with Kreiner and Enoch in second and third. How has the third event changed things up? We're gonna find out right now. So Vananen leads with 2,736 points. A gap now has extended to 183 points. Sophie Kreiner in second, still with the Estonian Pippa Enoch in third with 2,438 points. 670 points is the gap between first and eighth. The second finish, the Finns are actually obviously bookending both the results at the moment, with Nia Kaiko in eighth, currently the second Finn as well.
So we're back to the women's pole vault. Anastasia Retzer with her first attempt at 395. Navigated very comfortably. It was just that first round failure at 380. Retzer took some adjusting to this runway in Nairobi, but now she looks at home. A very clean clearance over 395. She was 10th in the European Junior Championships, but she'll be hoping she can perform higher than that today. 395, apologies, all the way up to 395. I think I said 385. Gave away 10 centimetres.
Here we go, they're pushing, aren't they, to go even further in this competition. Iriondu from Argentina is up now. So 395, the height the bar set up. You need to be aggressive on this runway, full of confidence, of course. This event is all about confidence, and that she has to make it over that in her first attempt. The Argentinian with a personal best of 4:07. Pretty pleased with that performance from the Argentinian there. Straight over for a debrief. Interesting that she faulted, like we were saying, warming up twice on 380, then she cleared 385 on the first attempt. Reinsdorf now then, the South African, next on the runway. Two-time South African national champion in 2019 and in 2021. She's also the South African university champion. Good speed there on the runway. Really nicely over. Made that one look pretty easy. She should do, because her personal best is 4:12. So quite a way off that at the moment, because the next height these women will be facing is 4:05. So another height she knows she can comfortably jump over. The Finnish fans then having a little chit-chat in the stadium on this Wednesday afternoon. South Africans still watching like they were earlier. I'm sure they're watching Reinsdorf.
Seen the women's 100-metre semi-finals. It's time for the men's 100-metre semi-finals. This is heat 1, and in lane 2, Bautista Demente qualified as a fastest loser with 10:63. Angelo Ulyssi was another fastest loser, 10:55 for the Italian in the opening rounds. In lane 4, he was second place in that first heat this morning, Armand Small. In lane 5 from Jamaica is Alik Cranston. He's practiced his start line pose, and so he should, with a 10:37 personal best, and under-18 Jamaican champion. But outside of him, Letsil Tebogo of Botswana, who was the fastest qualifier with a 10:22, the national under-20 record. But Oliver Widok from Poland, he ran a personal best with a really strong finish to win the fifth heat. And Yakil Romero for Nicaragua, 10:50 personal best this season. And Bradley Oliphant from South Africa completes the lineup in lane 9, personal best and season's best of 10:47. This is heat 1, semi-final 1 of the men's 100 metres. Argentina in 1, Italy in 3, Canada in 4, Jamaica in 5, Botswana in 6, Poland in 7, Nicaragua in 8, and South Africa in 9. It's a fast start from Cranston, and Tebogo coming through already. Tebogo looking strong for the win here. Tebogo for the win. Vidok of Poland, fantastic second place. Tebogo 10-1. That is a great time from the Botswanan. He was fast with 10:22 in the first round, 10:12 it's been rounded up to. Vidok 10:36. That's another personal best for the Polish athlete. Great running from these men today.
Wow, that was something special, which we just saw from Tebogo, from Botswana. It was Small from Canada who got out really fast, but then Tebogo just absolutely accelerated. When he got into full flight, he looked like something special. Look how relaxed he is as well. He's one of the athletes that's just going in such a straight line. There's, you know, no wasted energy going anywhere there. Looks so great in terms of his form. Look at the celebrations. Botswana, yes, we can see where you come from. It looked like he did a bit of a Usain Bolt pose there when he looked over to his coaches, maybe some of his teammates as well who were watching in the crowd. They probably knew how fast he can go. We can see exactly where he was fastest now, Hannah, because we're going to show you another heat map as well, which is very interesting to see, especially when we're looking at these junior athletes. So look at Tebogo then, from Botswana. 42.7 kilometers per hour. But look where he starts. The red point is what we're looking at here. That is an indication of their fastest top speed. So he starts it about 30 meters and maintains it all the way to about 90 meters, Hannah. That's why we saw him kind of run straight off onto the grass, it looked like, on the side of the track. 10.1 was awesome. He finishes in first, of course, and a top speed 42.7. We can compare that to Usain Bolt, can't we, from 2015. 44.72 kilometers per hour was his top speed from that world record of 9:58. So not much slower. He needs a couple of kilometers per hour he needs to find to get up to world record pace, but what a time that was. A national under-20 record, Hannah.
And what I'm delighted about is we were confused with our research. He had a 10:14 next to his name. We weren't sure whether it had been disallowed, but there you go. He's got a 10:11, new national junior record for the Botswanan. So he can cement that time and own that. And I think Adam Jamili's championship record of 10:05 could be under jeopardy as we look towards that final. But Oliver Vidok, 2 rounds, 2 PBs for the pole, 10:37 to get that second automatic qualifying time. Bradley Oliphant and Armand Small will have to sit and wait and see if they can be in the non-automatic qualifying spot once we move through the remainder of the 3 semi-finals. We've got 2 to go, but what a way to start it with a 10:11.
All the athletes will be looking at that one for sure, as possibly were these guys. The men's javelin throw, Dominikovic on the runway at the moment with his second throw. That's straight over that qualification mark. There was some cheers and there's a fist pump as well from the Slovakian there. A PB for Dominikovic. His previous best was 72.85. We can confirm as soon as it flashes up. 73.82.
Over that 73-meter mark is automatic qualification, so he came in knowing he had to do a PB today to automatically qualify, and he did it.
There you go, 73.82, that's confirmation. Then we saw it go over that mark, didn't we, of 73, so we knew it was in that region. We had to just wait and see exactly what it was, of course. Okay, we're going to stay on this as well. Finnish athlete Roo Kangas is up next. 73.06 is his PB. He's looking for that 73 line as well. Best 67.15 in round 1. And just before the 65-meter mark, as you can see there. Doesn't look happy with this one. Lovely angle there. quite far back from the line. Stops obviously before it, doesn't look happy. Walks off. It's a foul in the second round for the Finn. So his best stays as it was. 67.15 from his first round.
Crowd and some of the VIPs there enjoying this event. We might get a sneaky look at Seb Coe there, World Athletics president behind, but I'm sure he's got his eyes on Anastasia Retzer. The bar is now at 4:05. So Anastasia Retzer having a go at this. She's got a season's best of 4:07, so she's closing in on that with this 4:05. Personal best of 4:14. So this is within her grasps. So first attempt for Anastasia Retzer, 4 meters and 5 centimeters. And that was a nice clearance there. Didn't look as effortless as maybe her 395, but she got the job done. Such a technical event, this pole vault. There's so many different aspects to it. To put all of those together in a competition environment is no mean feat. So yeah, very satisfied with that clearance there. 17-year-old Greek athlete. That's looking like a good scorecard there. First time clearance in 395 and 4:05.
Some more teammates then in the stadium, beautifying themselves there, just having a little brush of her hair. But we're going to go to the second semi-final of the men's 100 meters. Lane 2 from Finland. We have Ino Yuri, PB of 10:46. In lane 3 from Oman, Ali Anwar Ali Al Balushi. Brian Lavelle then from Jamaica. 10:43 in the heat, 10:21 his personal best. Benjamin Richardson from South Africa, 10:17, 10:28 to qualify. He looked like the class act in the heats. Wendell Miller from the Bahamas. He goes in lane 6. The Italian Matteo Meluzzo, heat 5, he was second. 10:46 his qualification time. Nazio John, lane 8. From Grenada, 10:59 to qualify. And finally, the 16-year-old in lane 9, Thomas Mondino from Argentina, completes the lineup for the second semi-final of the men's 100 meters. So it's Yuri in 2, Balushi in 3, Lavelle in 4, Richardson 5, Miller in 6, Meluzzo in 7, John in 8, and Mondino from Argentina, the 16-year-old, the youngest competitor in this field, in lane 9. All eyes there will be on this man, the South African, the very tall South African, Richardson, 10:28 to qualify. He will have seen what Tebogo did in the first semi-final. Oh, this is not what we want to see. Everybody will be looking round, hoping and praying it's not them. We'll get a replay and see exactly what happened. We've seen a couple of qualifications already. Oh, this is difficult to see from that angle, but it looks possibly like the Jamaican got out quickly. We're waiting to see where the official goes and holds the card in front of the athlete. That's what we're looking for.
The officials have been quite strict with disqualifications, and there we see it is a disqualification for Brian Lavelle of Jamaica.
Really disappointing. He was the winner from heat 6. Brian Lavelle would have been possibly likely to qualify. 10:21 his best, 10:43 in those heats. That's a really tough walk back down the final straight for this youngster, but we're back in our blocks with this second semi-final. Let's see if they can get away smoothly this time out. Lane 5 is your fastest athlete, Benjamin Richardson. Richardson gets out strongly, as does Belushi from Oman to his left-hand side. Belushi looks really strong, as does the Italian and the Grenadian. Wow, that was 4 across the line. The South African there, I'm not even sure, made it into the top 3. Oman then, Belushi from Oman looks like he knows he got the win, 10.27. John in second, 10.29. The Italian, Maluzzo, in third there. Al Belushi with the claws. He knows how fast he was. He really upset the form sheet on that semi-final. Wow, I mean, Hannah, we've seen some shock results from these championships in the past. This is a shock.
It is, and I think Richardson got a good start. Maybe he suffered a bit from having that empty lane inside him after he lost Brian Lavelle. But you can see the strength there of Al Belushi coming through in the last few strides, as did Matteo Maluzzo.
I think you can see, Hannah, the pain now on Richardson's face. He looks like he's struggling. He doesn't look comfortable in his stride at all. He's grimacing. He's really stretching. He kind of, I guess, thinks that something's not right, but let's try and make it through all the same. I don't want to cause him an injury. Maybe he should have just eased up there to prevent any possible injury, because he didn't look like he was comfortable like he was in those heats when he got that great time of 10.28. But this man, Al Belushi, that was very fast from him. A national under-20 record, 10.27. His best before that, 10.43. He's absolutely bettered that by quite a distance, 0.2 of a second. Matteo Maluzzo, 10.29. Benjamin Richardson, 10.30. He has to wait and see. He may qualify, but yeah, that's the story of the championship so far. It's similar to the Indonesian athlete, of course, in 2018, Lalu Zori, who took the 100-meter title then. It was the first Indonesian athlete to win a medal at an under-20 championship, and the first Asian male to win a medal at the under-20 Worlds.
So we're going to see the last throw of the Group A, the men's javelin qualification. That will be Namdi of Nigeria. He was searching for that qualification line of 73, and he's smashed it. Automatic qualification is 73 meters. He's got a personal best of 73.45, and that was miles over for the Nigerian athlete. Be exciting to see that measured. 69.39 from his second round. So he needed to throw further to make it into the final. Final is Friday evening, and absolutely obliterating that automatic qualifying mark of 73 meters. Let's see by how much.
He's waiting as well, Hannah. He's like, what is it? Someone tell me exactly. Wow. Look at that time. Look at that distance. 78 meters there. That is something special. I don't think he expected.
We can see that full result there of Group A. It was just Namdi and Domikovic of Slovakia over that automatic qualifying distance. The rest will have to wait until Group B plays out. But what a fantastic way to finish that group off. 78, you'd say that would be enough for a medal if he can reproduce that for the final.
Well, it was, of course, in 2018, enough for a medal. 75.30 War won that one.
So 4:05 is where the bar is at now for the women's pole vault. Reinsdorf for South Africa. 4:12 back in March in that South African season. This is getting close to that with a 4:05. Good clearance from South Africa, and you can see her build that speed on the runway, plant the pole in the box and take off. I think the pole drop is an element of the pole vault I've been informed of this year, which I wasn't aware of. The way the pole drops into the box when they plant it to convert their speed into height, that's one of the most tricky technical aspects of the pole vault. You know, you think it's the running, the holding the pole, but it's also that lowering it into the box as you propel yourself over the bar. So here we are with the third heat of the third semi-final of the men's 100 meters. Third and final. Lameli Ponce of Mexico was a fastest, a non-automatic qualifier, with a 10:44 in the first round. Jason Mandoz of Botswana was another non-automatic qualifier, but he's here. He's going to attack the semi-final nonetheless. And Oragot of Uganda was an automatic qualifier. He was beaten by Tobago in the first round, but he's on fire, so we can't blame him for that. Okun Brume of Nigeria, 10:13 to his name. He ran 10:35 earlier this morning to win Heat 1. Montoya of Cuba, 10:40 in the first round to come second in that second heat. And Shayna Rengifo, Ilovsky of Hungary is next. And then we've got Carlos Brown of Bahamas. Personal best ran earlier this morning, 10:53. To complete this lineup in lane 9 is Khaled of Qatar. Personal best of 10:49 this year. 10:55 earlier in the qualifying rounds. So this is the third and final semi-final of the 100 meters for men. First two automatically qualify for the final. Okun Brume will have his sights firmly on that. He was the fastest in the field until Tobago ran his 10:11 just now. I'm sure he'll want to get those bragging rights back. All away cleanly. Okun Brume got a decent start, but here he comes. Okun Brume versus Montoya. Okun Brume, the Nigerian, powering through in the final few meters to take that 10:24. It's faster than he ran this morning. It's got the Nigerian team on their feet. They like the look of that. 10:24, very solid victory for Okun Brume. Second place for Rengifo Montoya of Cuba. Fantastic running from lane 5 and lane 6 there. Great start from the Cuban. Really put the pressure on Okun Brume there, but Okun Brume relaxed and came through really fast in that last 30 or 40 meters. Those two clear away in the first two places, with Oragot of Uganda in third place.
It was so great as well that the Nigerian teammates are out to watch their star there power to victory with 10:21 for first. They enjoyed that one, and we enjoy seeing those celebrations as well. Makes it very colourful in the stadium for us. So two great runs then from the Nigerian and the Cuban. The Cuban was out faster, but the Nigerian just got the better of him in the end.
Well, it'd be interesting if we can see that fast start play out here for Rengifo Montoya. Can't see it as clearly as I saw it to the naked eye, but you can see all of the men building that speed. See, great for Mandozi up there in lane 2, but he couldn't hold it. It was Okun Brume staying in that orange that got him the victory in 10:21. And Rengifo Montoya as well, a nice big orange spot there between 50 meters and 75. Rewarded with that second place and the 10:28 for the Cuban athlete. Again, those peak speeds, 41.7. Comparable, you said, with the Bolt as a sort of standout senior athlete. Usain Bolt hitting that 44.72. But it's interesting to see how our junior athletes compare to that.
Let's have the results then of the final semi-final for the men's 100 meters. Okun Brume then 10:22 for Nigeria, followed by Cuba's Montoya, a PB for him, 10:29. Oragot from Uganda in third with 10:37. Two more PBs though from Bahamas, Carlos Brown, 10:47, and Botswana's Mandozi, a PB of 10:54. So three PBs in that semi-final for the men's 100 meter athletes. Have to wait and see who the qualifiers are, though, because we had first 2 in each heat. So there was 3 semi-finals, and then it was the next 2 fastest. So we'll have to see from which semi-finals the 2 fastest come from. 10:37 from Oregon. Will that be fast enough? We know how fast semi-final number 2 was. 10:1 in the end there. We'll have to wait and see.
So yes, we will have to wait and see how those non-automatic qualifying times get sorted out for the men's 100 metres. I do think we can have a look at the women's 100 metre qualifiers, so that will hopefully tie up who qualified automatically in those top 2 and who then got the non-automatic times that qualified for the final. But we're going to head back to the women's pole vault first. It's Heather Abadi of Canada, her first attempt at 4:05. Just see the officials there making sure the uprights are secure. Hopefully this won't eat into her 1 minute. 1 minute the athletes get to attempt this pole vault. I'm sure an official adjusting the equipment wouldn't count towards an athlete's minute, but she looks better. She looks ready. Heather Abadi ready for her first attempt at 4 metres and 5 centimetres. Oh, great first time clearance.
Nicely done.
Canadian indoor record holder. Let's see if she can add an outdoor record. That would be fun. Her mother's an Olympian in the hurdles. I'm sure she's got half an eye on progressing through those age group ranks. You can see that's the perfect scorecard you want there for Heather Abadi. First time clearances 380, 395 and 405. But Garen Volji, second attempt at 405 for the Hungarian. Just 17 years old. She's come into this event ranked number 3. She no-heighted at the European Juniors a few weeks ago, something I'm sure she won't want to be thinking about right now. But it is a second attempt for Petra Garamanvolji. It was close, but she got it. Someone in the crowd liked it. But it's, she can progress on, set her sights on that 4 metres 15. Narrowing in on her personal best of 4:20. I feel it's 4:05, 4:15 heights. They're really going to sort out the field here. We're going to see women exit the competition at this height. It's really going to start to sort out those heights. And those scorecards could really come into play here. Garen Volji there with a second time clearance at 4:05. It's Heather Abadi with that clean scorecard so far. That's really impressive.
So we'll continue with the women's pole vault final then. And the French athlete, Rousse, is up next. Third attempt at 4:05. She's the French under-18 record holder. She goes nicely over that in her third and final attempt, and she took that French under-18 title from the other Frenchwoman in the competition, Emma Brentel. So these two have obviously been competing against each other for years now on the French circuit. Will know each other really well, but 4:05 in her third and final attempt for the French athlete. Goes over to her coach as well, has a little bit of a chat.
And we will bring you up to date now with those qualifiers through to the men's 100 metre final, topped by Letsil Tebogo of Botswana with that 10:11. What a fantastic run. Okunbrume did his best to get in the conversation with 10:22. You can see those non-automatic qualifiers there. Benjamin Richardson looks so impressive in the first round, but he scraped through in the non-automatic time. Be exciting to see if he can regain that form in the final. And Nadzo John there with a 10:32 into the final as well. There are your 8 men that will contend that final.
Well, 8 men in the final, of course, of the men's 100 metres, and 8 women into the final as well. Here's the qualification summary for you then. Jamaica's Tina Clayton tops those tables in 11:34. Beatrice Masalengi in second from Nambia, 11:35. Got Schmidt from Switzerland, 11:50. Ivana Ilic, European silver medalist, 11:50 as well. Victoria Forster, 11:54 qualifies. Praise Afuku, 11:57. 8 ladies making that final, but we're going to jump back to the pole vault. Anastasia Retsa from Greece, 4:15. She goes now for her first attempt at this height. This is now going to be past her personal best of 4:15. So if she gets this, this is going to be a personal best. Again, just adjusting the bar height before this Greek athlete has her first attempt. This will be a big moment for this youngster. Strong run up then. To be confident. Oof! Wasn't quite strong enough on that attempt. Didn't look like she was going to get over it, but she has 2 more attempts, of course, so nothing to worry about at the moment. She was 4th in the Greek National Championship in the senior event, so she's experienced some high-profile events before and some tough competition. She'll go over to her coach and probably have a quick chat and say, I want a PB here today. What do I have to do to get it? Probably not much more, Hannah. Just have a little bit more confidence in herself as well, and maybe go and chat to her countrywoman as well, who is also in this event. Maybe they can trade some tidbits there, little bits of information on how they go a little bit higher, because they're both similar in their PBs. 4:14 for Retsa, and Triantafili 4:12 is her PB.
So have a look at Miro Reinsdorf as she attempts 4:15. This would also be a personal best for the South African athlete. She's at 4:12 this year, as I said before, from back in March. So she's had some time to make some technical adjustments, do a little bit more training in that gap between the South African season and this World Junior Championships. We'll see. It's her first attempt at 4:15 meters. And a good clearance there from Mira Reinsdorf. Cool, calm, collected as well. See her really attack that speed into down the runway and into the pole vault bed, and transferring that so well into vertical height. It baffles me, the physics behind this event. But Reinsdorf there, 3 first-time clearances at the last height. She came in early at 380, but that's done her no harm at all. She's looking fresh and strong, holding that first position at the moment. Abadi in second place at the moment does have a clean scorecard as well, so it'll be interesting to see how she goes on the 4:15. But before that, we're going to have a look at Russi. Took her 3 attempts to get over 4:05. This is her first attempt at 4:15 meters. Not to be in the first time for the French athlete. Seen our favourites come under a little bit of pressure here. She's ranked number 2. It took her 3 attempts to get over 4:05. She's 6th at the European Junior Championships, but since that she's set a brand new PB of 4:21 just on the 31st of July, so she's in that form at the moment. Vaulting well so far, just getting some tips from a coach, either her personal coach or a team's coaching staff. See the officials being very sure to reposition everything in between the jumps to make sure they're absolutely accurate. And we are back to Heather Abadi with that clean scorecard. First time attempt at 4:15 meters. Not to be that put an end to her clean scorecard, but she has 2 more attempts at 4:15 meters. Canadian athlete, 4:25 is their season's best. Done on the 6th of August, so she is in that form. She's looked great so far, just the 1 blip so far. She'll come back for a second attempt at 4:15 meters. But that does leave Reinsdorf out in the lead at the moment with her first time clearance at 4:15 meters. by merit of her clean scorecard, Abadi is in second place ahead of Retzer. So we'll see if this 4:15 height makes any difference to Retzer and Abadi. Next up is Garun Volji from Hungary, looking for that crowd support. This is her first attempt at 4 meters and 15 centimeters. It will be a second attempt for the Hungarian athlete. You can see the frustration there. But as we suspected, this 4 meters 15's really beginning to sort out these women. A lot of first-time clearances, a lot of people negotiating that 4 meters and 5 centimeters okay, but now we're at 4 meters 15. It's starting to get tricky, and Garun Volji will come back for a second attempt. We had a temperature check this morning at 15 degrees, which I think is cooler than we all expected to see in Kenya, but it looks nice and still. Pretty ideal conditions for pole vaulting most of our events that we're going to see over the next few days. But Anastasia Retzer coming up for her second attempt at 4 meters 15. Anastasia Retzer choosing her moment. Oh. You can see there she had the height and she came down on the bar. Nerves of steel to do this event. To get back out on the runway after that, it's going to be hard work for her, but safely landing on the mat is taking that bar down with her.
What I love about this event, though, is we kind of mentioned it briefly before. It's such an event which brings out the best personalities in these athletes. So especially at the senior level, we see it so much. They have things like the street vault, Hannah, where they literally go into a city centre and prop up a pole vaulting mat and just perform in front of passers-by who always think they know exactly what's going on and they can do the event. They probably can't. And the Garden Games, we saw that in 2020, didn't we, when we didn't know what was happening in the world and everything was uncertain. World Athletics put on the Garden Games and pole vaulters literally propped up a high jump pit in their back garden and vaulted against other athletes around the world. It was brilliant to watch and super entertaining. The men and the women both had that, and it really filled a hole in the athletics calendar when we didn't really know when we were going to see athletes competing, and they got to do it from anywhere, and we saw some of the best in the world just to have a lot of fun, and fun is what is brought out with these athletes. Especially they've got people like Sandy Morris to look up to, who I know loves singing in her spare time, and I think did the soundtrack to the Doha World Championships as well. Like, these athletes are such colourful characters. Obviously we've got the French athlete on the runway now. She's waiting for her chance. Emma Brentel, of course, up waiting for her shot. She's not quite sure what's going on. We've got a little bit of delay, though, for the French athlete. They're going to maybe have a look at the height.
But one of those athletes that has been carrying the pole vault over the last few years is Renaud Lavillenie. He's done so much for pole vault, and it's exciting with two young French pole vaulters in this field. As we look towards those Olympic Games in Paris in 3 years' time, obviously a short Olympic cycle, you'd have to think a French athlete would have their eye on that.
You know what it was like, Hannah, when you were building up in your career and the London Olympic Games are coming on. It's exciting, but probably a little bit of added pressure as well for these young French athletes, but they won't be thinking about that right now. That will come after the event. Only 3 years away, of course. So be creeping up before we know it. Roos putting the pole down, gonna wait Making some adjustments there. The amazing volunteers are. Well, this is our first track final. First ever time this event has been run at this Under-20 Championships. The mixed 4x4 100-meter relay. Poland then go in lane 8. They were 4th in heat 1. South Africa are missing then from this event. Really disappointing for South Africa. They were in heat number 2. They finished 3rd in the heat earlier on today. But we have the Czech Republic. They are here and ready to go. The same order, same team as we saw from these athletes in the heats. They were 2nd in heat 1 to make it here. 3:24.15 their qualifying time. Palek there will be leading this Czech team out. Nigeria then, they make just one change on the second leg. They won heat 2. They got the championship record, 3:21.66. That was held by India in heat 1, but then it was taken away quickly by Nigeria. Italy then go in 4. One athlete is the same, and it's this athlete. It's the only athlete the same. The male on leg number 1. They were 2nd in heat 2. In the 3rd lane, we have India. We saw how dominant they were in heat number 1. They want a medal here. They've only made a change on leg number 1 to Siradar there. 2, 3 and 4 stay the same for India. Jamaica then in 2. Utah on the first leg then. Ran the anchor leg in the heats. Sri Lanka then in lane 1. They finished 5th in heat number 1, but managed to get through based on their time. They've changed their order, but all the athletes stay the same for this. This, though. South Africans, there we are. We have them. They weren't there. They're a bit late to the starting blocks, but we have them now, and we're excited. Norte, then, is going to lead them off. We saw him earlier in the men's 400-meter heat. South Africa, they came 2nd. Earlier on today. Well, we mentioned it. They are the record holders from earlier. 3:21.66. We get away nice and quickly then in this first ever time this event has been held at the championships. The final of the mixed 4x4 100-meter relay. They've got a big stagger to contest at the moment, so it's tricky to see. But the South Africans look strong because they are already on the shoulder of the Polish team there. That's Norte, of course, on Robel of Poland. He's taking him as we come into the final 100 meters. Tall athlete from South Africa there. Expect Nigeria to be really strong as well. And the Indian team. Both had championship records in the heat. Nigeria have it because they were in heat number 2. But South Africa hand over first. We'll be looking to get the break nice and cleanly when they finish this 200 meters with all these women athletes.
Great handover there for Precious of South Africa. You can see her there in lane 7 as they come towards the break. But it is the Indian team that have come through really strongly on this second leg already, fighting for that lead as they break. But Uko looks like she's going to hold on to it. But watch out for Lesvich of Poland. She was so impressive in the individual heats earlier. Lesvich gliding past one of the fastest entries in that individual event. And the Polish team have put her into this mixed 400 meter final. They rested her this morning for the rounds, but she's here to try and give her team as much of a lead, or at least hold on to this Nigerian team in this second leg. But it is Uko coming through strongly in the last 50 meters. She'll be handing over to, it's Uko handing over to Oke. Nigeria take the lead from Poland.
Italy there with a little problem with their handover. Don't look best pleased with that But Nigeria now stretching away on this third leg with Oki. She looks really focused as she runs down this back straight. India, though, coming in really strongly, looking to just overtake the Polish athlete. This is the third leg. Indian athlete Sami there, but the Pole is holding on. Kaczmarek is holding on for Poland. What can India do on this home straight? Have they got anything left? Nigeria, they're out strongly, but the Poles are really finishing straight in this last 50 metres. Nigeria, oh no, Poland are going to hand over the baton first. It's dead heat, handing over the baton. Hannah, this is exciting last 400 metres, but look at India go.
What a strong run there from Kaczmarek in the second leg for Poland. She's handed over to her teammate, Gregorzovic. He's got the Nigerians stalking him. He's got Badame Ajay coming up on his shoulder already down this back straight. The Indian team chasing hard, and Jamaica have got themselves back into it as well, but the Nigerians looking to take over. You can see that distance to the lead. The Poles are holding the lead at the moment with Nigeria behind them, but India just in third place and looking strong.
Well, the medals are going to be between these three athletes. Is it going to be Poland, Nigeria or India for the first ever medals in this mixed 4x400 metres? Nigeria want it. Look how hard they are fighting the Poles. Nigeria are going to get it on the line. Nigeria won. Poland 2. India wanted a medal. They came here for a medal. They got the bronze. Look at what that means for Nigeria, the fans, their teammates. Nigerian team there. Stretch out on the floor. Ajay, who brought them home so strongly on that final 150 metres. Poland, though, they handed over by the smallest of margins in first place to their anchor leg athlete. Nigeria then knew what the benchmark was. They had a little bit of an easier maybe run in the last 400 metres. When you have someone in front of you, Hannah, it helps you slightly, doesn't it? They had the championship record from the heats. The championship record was 3:13.6. They're celebrating at the moment, though. Do they know their time? I always love to see this when the time pops up on the screen at these events, and they get even more exaggerated with their emotions. Their teammates are taking all the pictures, really soaking up the atmosphere here.
And I'm sure they'll be looking forward to their individual splits as well. There were some fantastic legs in there for the Nigerian team and the Polish team, really strongly pushing each other all the way to the line. But it was Bamidele Ajayi of Nigeria was just stronger in that last 50 metres, overhauling the Polish team and bringing his team victory in a championship record of 3:19.7. It's a great run, getting that lovely time with the flag around your shoulders and that iconic picture with the clock. That would be a lovely souvenir for these four to take home.
So they bettered that, didn't they, from 3:21.66 in the heats to 3:19.70 for the Nigerians. And this is exactly how they did it.
It was a good run from start to finish for this Nigerian team. They looked really strong, but it was a great start from South Africa. They couldn't quite hold on to that speed the whole way through the event. But it was a brilliant first leg there from Norch of South Africa. Taking the Poles with him as well. I think he helped the Poles out here a little bit. Pace made them to a fast first leg. I think it was just the South Africans, the Nigerians and the Poles in this first leg. And then it was the Indian team with Sumi really, there wasn't Sumi yet, she was on the next leg, but Mohan here. Tremendous leg, getting the Indians right back in it. It was still the Nigerians in the lead, and then the individual star Lesovic of Poland taking up the lead in the second leg for Poland, holding on to that well, but not quite ahead of Oko as we came into the third leg.
Yeah, then it really was down to Nigeria and Poland. Italy there, yeah, having a problem like we saw on that third leg there. This is the final 100 metres. Poland had the lead by half a metre. Nigeria were not going to give that up, though. They wanted it. Ajay of Nigeria clawing his way with a massive dip on the line to take the gold, making history for Nigeria. They will go down in the record books there being the first ever champions of this event at an under 20 event. The Poland team then in second, of course. The Polish team were the Olympic champions only a couple of weeks ago in this event. So Poland dominating still on the rostrum and another major event in only a couple of weeks difference as well. And again, we now know the order that works. It goes male, women, and a men to end as well. That's the tried and tested formula. We saw it a little bit different in the heat, but most of these teams now know that that's the order they should run in, because that's what works, and that's what's worked today for Nigeria, Poland, and India. All three teams went with that order. Nigeria, though, are your champions with a championship record 3:19.70. Poland in second, 3:19.80, a season's best for them. And India, 3:20.60, another season's best. Season's best all the way down to Italy in sixth, and a PB for Sri Lanka in seventh, 3:26.39 their time. And the Czech Republic, 3:28.58 for eighth place. So that was a bit of history being made there. Nigeria come out on top.
So after all that track action, we'll turn our attention back to the field. We're still with this women's pole vault. Elise Russi with her second attempt at 4.15 meters. That's a good clearance there off the young Frenchwoman. She's come in ranked second with her 4.21 meters that she did just a few weeks ago. Few failures, but not this time. 4.15 negotiated well for Elise Russi. See a mixture of relief and joy, I think, when these athletes get over these heights. We're back to our current leader. Mia Reinsdorf went over 4.15 for the first time, and the only other athlete to manage that was Elise Russi. So it is just these two left in the competition to fight it out for the gold and silver medals.
This always gets really exciting now at this stage in the competition, when all the athletes usually sit and watch as well and want to see the outcome, because they're all mates on the circuit. They'll you know, compete against each other quite a lot, or they'll know exactly what each other jumps. They'll go on the different rankings, won't they, all around the world, and probably will be friends on social media. That's the era we now live in. They all know about each other. But this, of course, is the South African Reinsdorf, two-time South African champion. 4.12. PB for this athlete coming into this event. We see she's brought a couple of teammates. We've seen them quite a lot in the stands. She's just being held at the moment on the runway. This is important. She wants to get this right. She doesn't want to run off prematurely and be told that, you know, she's made a mistake or something wasn't quite ready. Doesn't want to be put off her competition at this stage, because there's a world title up for grabs here, Hannah. The yellow cone then been taken away. It means Reinsdorf is ready to go now. She looks so focused. Closing her eyes, breathing, kind of probably mentally telling herself exactly what she has to do here. Oof. Not quite over the bar. She needs to find a bit more height. Her legs, I think, just scraped the bar when she came down on top of her thighs there. So that's something that she'll think about. 4.20, 2 more attempts at this. Been pretty good, hasn't she? 3.95 first time, 4.05 first time, 4.15 first attempt, 4.20. Falters, but obviously this is new territory. Her PB coming into this was 4.12. She's bettered that. She's going for another PB. PB by 8 centimeters coming into this. She already got a 3 centimeter PB. This is quite big for the South African, Hannah, isn't it?
It really is, and despite that failure, Reinsdorf for me is still in the driving seat here with that clean sheet. It's all down to Russi to see if she can respond with those 2 failures at 4:05. She has to go over, she has to start getting those first-time clearances and having a better scorecard. But she's not done that yet. And just a note on Reinsdorf as well, with that 4:15, I think it might be an area record, so an African record for the South African. So if she gets any higher on this, she's going to add to that as well. But fantastic, I said, with that South African season, she had that season in March that was tremendous, that qualified her for this, but to come out even better in August for these World Junior Championships in Nairobi is great. But also brilliant to see those competitors down there smiling and waving at the cameras.
We mentioned earlier, Hannah, I think, Elise Russi, she actually got her PB only on the 6th of August, so she's kind of coming into form at the right time. 31st of July, sorry, there's a couple of athletes who have been really coming into form. It was Heather Aberdeen, 6th of August was 4:25 her PB, and then Elise Russi then, 31st July, the last time she competed, she got her PB. Can she better it now? .420, she's gone higher. 4:21 is her PB. Psychologically, she'll know, though, that she can clear this height. That's the advantage she currently has over the South African, the only athlete left in it that she's done it before. So why can't she do it again right now on the biggest stage? We want to see it. Her coach wants to see it.
So, balancing that self-belief with that frustration there, we can see Reinsdorf cool and calm on the infield. But it will be Reinsdorf having her second attempt. But before that, we're going to try and bring you up to date with the men's javelin throw.
First throw then for Artur Felfner from Ukraine. He's the European under-20 champion with a personal best of 78.41. So best in Europe for his first attempt then. What has he got? Oof! Well, that's as close as you like to that automatic qualification line then, which is marked out at 73 metres. It's gone 5 metres further before in his career. That looks good. He must be happy with that for an opening attempt. Let's see exactly what it is. Best so far, Kumar of India, 70.34. Felfner, we'll have to wait and see, because we're going back to the women's pole vault. The South African then, Reinsdorf, again clipped the bar on her second attempt at 4:15, 4:20, excuse me. So one more attempt at this height for this youngster, South African university champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the fourth event of the women's Heptathlon competition of 200 meters.
Well, back on the track then for the women's 200 metres Heptathlon, the fourth event for these women this evening. Here we go then. Kreiner.
And Kreiner in lane 8, sitting in second position at the moment. That's a strong event for her with a 25.34 personal best. But Pippi Enoch, she's sitting in the bronze medal position at the moment. 2 out of 3 PBs so far today. Can she make it a fourth? Next we have Sliva Visot of Lithuania. Not so good in the shot put, she looked good in the high jump. But Keiko of Finland, currently sitting in 8th place overall after clattering that hurdle in the first event, but doing well to stick to her task in these 4 events today. But Saga Vinanen has looked untouchable so far. She's surmounted a great lead in the points overall. Disappointed with her shot, but let's see what she can do in this 200 next. And Klara Kocak of Croatia, she's just 16. She's already thrown a PB in her last event. To her inside is Suj of Hungary. 25:32 is her personal best in this event. And completing the lineup in lane 1 is Valeria Mukbrod from Ukraine, also fresh off a personal best in that shot put. Fastest in the field, I think, is Clara Kotsak for the 24:51, and then Saga Vananen 24:83. So that's lane 3 and 4. So expect those ladies to come home quickly, but Pippa Enoch actually faster than Vananen with 24:75 out in lane 7. It's the women's heptathlon 200 to complete their first day before they can have a well-earned rest. Away first time, Vananen up on her teammate already. You can see her there in lane 6. But Koshak of Croatia fast on the inside and Enoch on the outside. Enoch powering away. Is Vananen going to come back strongly in this last 50 metres? But no, Enoch of Estonia powering away, 24:61. If that time's confirmed, that would be a personal best for Pippi Enoch. That would bring her to 3 personal bests in 4 events on this first day. She's sitting in the bronze medal position, and that won't do her chances any harm at all. Strong run there from Enoch. If we look at the 200 metres in this, every 0.1 is 10 points. So you can see Enoch just driving away, getting more and more points. I don't think she'll do enough to catch Vananen, certainly not overnight. But it might get her close to Kreiner of Austria in that second place.
Well, Enoch, of course, is the European Under-20 Championship 5th placed athlete, so she'll want to get a medal here at these World Under-20s. It's a great shot there, just watching the athletes run away from the camera. You can see Vananen, though, how strong she is on that corner, but so is Enoch. As soon as we come into those final 100 metres, she is tested by Vananen, but she just pulls away the last 20 metres and puts daylight between her and the Finnish athlete. So it's Estonia 1, Finland 2. PB as well. She looks so determined, doesn't she, in that 200 metres. She really wanted that win next to her name to end day 1 for these females on a high, because that's what they're after. Enoch then PB 24:59. Saga Vananen PB 24:83 in second. Strong performances from those 2 ladies then.
So we're back to the conclusion of the women's pole vault. This is Mira Reinsdorf. She's had 2 failures. This is her 3rd and final attempt at 420. As it stands with her scorecard, she's got the gold medal, but she'll be keen to clear this height and put it out of doubt. Reinsdorf not to be on that 3rd and final attempt. Like I said on countback, she does have the gold medal, but it depends on Elise Russi of France. She's on her 3rd and final attempt at this height as well. She's cleared it before. She cleared it a few weeks ago on the 31st of July with a 4:21. But that is the end of the competition for the South African. Just to clear it up, it was the bronze medal for Abadi of Canada. Merit of her 4:05 clearance and a better scorecard than the rest of the field. But we will have one 3rd and final attempt for Elise Russi of France.
How much pressure is now on this young French athlete? Because she knows it's gold or silver. It's in her hands either way. It's not often that we get to say that. As track athletes, Hannah, we never have that, unless you're out in front by 10, 20 metres or so. Anything can happen right down to the final of a track event, but this is very much in her hands. Will she take silver or will it be gold? Let's find out. She does not clear her 3rd and final attempt at 4:20 meters. Unfortunate for Elise Russi then from France. So she will be a World Under-20 silver medalist. The South African Mia Reinsdorf takes the gold because she had a perfect record at 395, 405, 415. The only mark she faltered on was 380. She cleared that though in her second attempt. No athlete could go over 420. Only Mia Reinsdorf and Elise Russi tried at 420. Both unfortunately couldn't make it today. Ellie Russi though goes over to her coach. Mia Reinsdorf there gives her a hug. Celebrations all round for these two athletes and the Canadian as well. Heather Abadi taking the bronze. You can see her on screen now. 405 next to her name. That's the height she got to today. She cleared that with her first attempt and couldn't get over 415, but the South African, the first medalist at these World Under-20 Championships. She's the first gold medalist. Super exciting for her. I really hope there's some members of her team in the crowd that she can run around the stadium and give them a wave as well, because that's something that we love to see. She'll soak up this moment. She goes over and thanks all the officials, Hannah, which is so lovely to see, because they put a lot of work into this as well, of course, so couldn't be done without them.
And there is that full result of our first field final. It's a victory there we saw for Mira Reinsdorf in an African record, African junior record as well, with that 4 meters 15 clearance. Elise Russi exiting on 4:15 as well, but getting that silver medal, and a bronze medal for Heather Abadi. 4 meters and 5 centimeters. Just great to get that field final underway. Concluded, so that's 2 finals down, many more to go.
Well, back onto the men's javelin qualification then. Lapsa from Finland, his second round throw. Oof. Leaps through the air as he launches that javelin. Loves that. So he had a best of 69.88 in round 1. I think he thinks is better. He quite liked the look of that. So we're waiting to see exactly how far that javelin flew through the air. Well over that yellow marker we have down for automatic qualification of 73 meters. 77.10 in his second round throw. A massive PB as well. 73.97 his best before that. You can't ask for much more in a world qualification event.
No, and he's really putting the pressure on the rest of this field. And Arthur Felfner, he doesn't have that automatic qualifying mark yet, despite having a massive personal best of 78.41. The European junior champion on just 72.89 at the moment. Stops himself before that line, points to the sky. He knew it was good. Must be a great feeling as a field eventer when you launch a throw or attempt or a jump and you know it's good. And he certainly knows that well. It's well over that automatic qualifying mark, and that is the job today for these athletes. The top 12 from Group A and Group B will contend the final on Friday afternoon. But Arthur Felfner, after coming in as the favourite, .77.15 there for Felfner, back in the top spot where he likes to be. Lasper, the other gentleman, over the qualifying mark.
Well, these are your medalists then in the pole vault. So, South African takes top spot, Mia Reinsdorf. Second place goes to the French athlete, Elise Russi. And the third place, the bronze medal, goes to the Canadian, Heather Abadi. Look at what it means to Reinsdorf there. Goes and gets her country's flag. A moment to soak up, to savour all of the athletes, as we expect from these field events. Go over, congratulate her. You can see the camaraderie between all these young athletes. Such a great feeling right now for this athlete. This is a moment which I'm sure she'll look back on fondly, and this is also hopefully going to be a benchmark, a springboard for this athlete to really progress. I love this. They're all signing each other's little numbers there, which is great. One day, who knows? Reinsdorf could be an Olympic champion. Never has a South African won this event either in the women's pole vault, so this is really history being made.
That's a great performance there, and you back it up with an age group area record. That's really special. We've seen some championship records already, but any time an area record goes or a national record is just really special. Great to see a few of these teammates piling in, some Ethiopian representatives there. I'm sure they got their eye on the men's 3,000 metre final that we've got coming up shortly. Same with that Kenyan team in their home stadium. Just that one track event left to go, the men's 3,000 metre final. Coming at you very shortly. We see those Canadians there with that fantastic bronze medal for Heather Abadi. I'm sure they would have celebrated that in the pole vault.
I'm sure her mum would as well, being a former Olympian herself. She's got good genes, hasn't she, Heather Abadi? But our attention now is definitely turning back to the track, because we have a big final coming your way. Well, some more history being made now then in the men's 3,000 metre final. The first time this event has ever taken place. The athletes will be heading out now onto the track, all 16 of them in this final. It'll be very exciting for all these athletes involved in this event. So they're running the first ever final because this is what the female athletes run. So they thought, you know what, we'll get the men to run the same distance. So no 10,000 metres at this championship. Instead, this event, the men's 3,000 metre final. Hannah, are you excited for this? Are you pleased that these 16 male athletes get to run the same event as the females?
I think it is good, and I love 3,000 metres as a championship event. We have it indoors at a senior level, and I think it throws up so many fantastic races. I love the combination. You can have a bit of that 1,500 metre speed, but you've got to have the FICO strength. I think it's a really intriguing event, and I hope it would be quite interesting to watch it unfold, and fantastic for the gender parity as well, having the same events across both genders. Especially when we've got that mixed event for the first time as well. Just feels like a really nice first day, really.
It does indeed. Well, 7.5 laps. That's exactly how many laps the athletes will have to run then in this 3,000 metres. But just doing a few strides then, just to warm up at the moment. Just get their legs going. Eritrean athlete then on your screen there. Mabrathu, the PB of 8:10.16. 2 Eritrean athletes in this. 2 Ethiopian athletes in this as well. And 2 Kenyan athletes. So we may see a few tactics unfolding from teammates. They may have a few race plans up their sleeve, Hannah. Would you expect to see that in a distance event like this?
I think they would, and it's I love the rivalry we get between Ethiopia and Kenya and Uganda in some of these distance events, and that will carry through to this junior age group. They will feel that rivalry and they'll want to do it proud, and especially with it being in Kenya. These Kenyan athletes would have qualified in this stadium, but now they're welcoming the rest of the world into their arena, and they'll want to come out on top. But Tadesse Worku of Ethiopia is streets ahead of this field in terms of personal best. It'll be interesting to see whether he runs with his team or goes out there solo.
Worku, you mentioned him. He's got the world under-20 leading time at the moment. 7 minutes 34.75. Well, we'll wait to introduce a couple of these athletes to you, because there's so many great athletes in this field. So let's start them off then. Tadesse Worku, we just mentioned him, the world leading time at the moment, 7:34.75. Watch out for the Ethiopian. Okay, and his countryman as well, Ali Abdi Lamana from Ethiopia, 750 so far to his name. From Morocco, large then, he'll be one to watch as well. The Kenyan, Yegon, first in the Kenyan trials. He will know this track very well. Could that be an advantage to him, as will the second Kenyan, second at the trials as well. Kinjanju, 7:55 at 96. Will we see these two athletes work together? We've seen it before at these under-20 championships. They come with a game plan, and if it works, they go away with some medals. Well, what can Worku do then? Fastest in the field. Seven and a half laps to go inside the Kasarani Stadium, the Moi International Sports Centre in Nairobi. We're looking for the first lap to see what kind of pace they are on. Are they going to go out and really make the other athletes work? Yego then leading them off at the moment from Kenya. This probably feels a bit like home. The Ugandan taking the lead, Kibet. It's got a time of 8:06.12. Setting the pace at the moment. Doesn't look too fast though, Hannah, because they're very much bunched up in a pack. All of them just maybe sounding each other out for the first couple of laps, because this is a new event. So a couple of them maybe sitting in, just setting the pace, feeling comfortable. Worku then just behind the Ethiopian, then his teammate Ablamana just behind him. Hassan though, at the moment, also sitting in right at the front from Somalia, the only athlete from Somalia in the field. So a lot of pressure possibly on that youngster's shoulders. But now Worku signalling to the others, just saying, I'm possibly going to take the lead there, Hannah. Is that something that you see them do quite a lot? They talk a lot in these kind of distance races, don't they?
They do, and they, I think they kind of tell off the other athletes if they feel like they're getting a bit close or they're not giving them the space that they deserve. And Worku will certainly feel that he deserves sort of the prestige and the walk of this field. And you can see Kibet there tucking in behind. But I was going to say with Worku, he's run that 7:34, but that's in a pace-made race. And this is a different kettle of fish. To have a championship race, he looks like he's got to do a lot of this own running, if a lot of the running himself, if he wants it to be fast. It was a 64-second first lap. It's 8-minute pace. That's not going to trouble any of these guys. I think if I was Worku's coach or team manager, I'd say let's push on a bit, let's burn off the field, and make it a bit of a smaller race. 62-second lap, so he is asking questions to the rest of the field already.
But you can see him just playing with the pace now. He's just literally decided to say, actually, I'm not going to take it on. That means he's confident. That means he knows he has the strength. Kibet now back in the lead for Uganda, but possibly not where he wants to be. He keeps looking around at Worku saying, what are you going to do next? He's definitely the person in charge, in control of this race, is Worku, because he's the most experienced. 5 laps to go, you just saw there. You know, he's been around now the senior circuit. He's got that strength as well from the cross-country scene. Former world under-20 silver medalist from Aarhus in 2019. That was a tough course as well. That was very undulating. That really tested these athletes. But Worku not looking troubled at the moment. The Kenyan Yegon on his shoulder, and Kibet from Uganda sitting in there. So got 2 Kenyans, 2 Ethiopians, and Kibet from Uganda. Those 5 at the moment looking controlled. The second Uganda, then Yego, who set the pace earlier on, has dropped back a little bit down that pack, but it is a big pack there, all pretty much together still as we approach the 4 laps to go mark.
Tadesse Worku was playing with the field there a little bit. He was like, okay, Kibet, you can lead for a little bit, but only for 200 metres, and I'm back on it. And he is piling on the pressure at the front of this field. That 2:39 first kilometre, that won't have done much damage, but now he is starting to clip off those laps. He's running a little bit faster. I think that was another 62. And you can see just 1 Ethiopian teammate for company and 1 Kenyan, despite the Kenyan cheerleader band on the inside there, willing on their compatriots. They will not want to be beaten by the Ethiopians in their home stadium.
Eyes now to the track for Worku. Over the last 400 metres, he has stretched all these athletes out. They were in a massive pack before that. Now is the two Ethiopians working hard together as they come into the home straight now. They'll see 3 laps to go on the clock. Worku then looking behind him, seeing who is still in contention. He goes, okay, it is my compatriot there, Ali Abdulmana, who he'll know really well. He'll know exactly what he can do. So he's probably thinking this is a good position. And they're going to lap the athlete from the athlete refugee team there. Back marker always proving a little bit of problems, but no problems for these two Ethiopian athletes who have now made about a 10-20 metre lead. We're going to get confirmation of that, about 10 metre lead they have now got over the last 2 laps, 800 metres, and that's what they can do. They'll look to hold this for the time being, Hannah, I'm expecting at the moment.
Absolutely, and that was a fast couple of laps there. And we had 2 Eritreans from 2 Kenyans. Can those Eritreans work together? And Yegon there, a bit isolated on his own. I'm sure he'd love to get back up to Mebratu and Samuel, the 2 Eritreans ahead of him, as they fight it out for the bronze medal. But it does look like Worku and his teammate Abdulmana just running away down the track. So I think it will be 2 laps to go this time. So just 800 metres running left for these pair. Tadesse Worku, the class of the field with a personal best of 7:34, set just in July. But you can see these Eritreans working hard together. The first one, 2:31 from Eritrea there is Mehawi Mebratu. At the moment, he's got the better of his teammate Habtom Samuel, but they will fight all the way to this line for the silver medal. But Worku coming through, he nears the 600 metre mark, overtaking another lapped runner. That's Yadav from Nepal. He's the only representative here at the World Junior Championships for Nepal. He's got 1,000 metres to go, but it is just 600 for these 2 Ethiopian athletes.
What an experience, though, for Yadav from Nepal to get here. So congratulations to him for making it to these championships. But it's all about these 2 in your picture right now. They're going to get gold and silver, but which order? Worku very much in control. As we come up to the bell, it will signal here that there is only 1 lap to go. Are we going to see a change in pace from these 2 athletes? Worku leads from his teammate Abdulmana. As it stands, no one has gone with these 2.
And we're going to see one of those big last laps we are always treated to. These Ethiopians are so good at closing, and at the moment Worku looks like he's got it tied up. He looks like he's not got another gear, but he's helped his teammate Abdulmana get clear of the field, pace making him away. It's still Mebratu and Samuel in a 2-way battle for the bronze medal. But Worku and Abdulmana, they hit 200 to go. Mebratu looking at that screen, can he get the silver medal? But it is all about Worku. Tadesse Worku powering away in this first edition of the men's 3,000 metres at the World Junior Championships. Tadesse Worku turning on the afterburners. It's a huge last lap from the Ethiopian. He salutes the crowd, takes the victory for Ethiopia, and a silver medal for his teammate Abdulmana. 58 closing lap though for Tadesse Worku. Celebrations, time to celebrate and get back up before the bronze medal for Samuel of Eritrea, Habton Samuel, and Mebratu, Eritrean there in 4th place. 5th place finish there for Nahum Bazwe.
Well, there we go. The Ugandan there, Quebec crossing the line. Yegon as well from Kenya, first at the Kenyan trials. Couldn't quite match that performance today. This, though, is the man making history. Tadesse Worku, the first ever winner of a 3,000 metres for the men at a championship in the under-20 category. He made it look like easy work out there today. He was playing with the rest of the field. Championship record 7:42.09. His teammate was second as well. Ali Abdulmani takes the silver for Ethiopia. There they are, 1, and behind him, Abdulmani Silva, he's number 2. He goes and congratulates the Kenyans. Kinjanjui there for Kenya being congratulated. And Yegon as well. We expected it to be Ethiopia and Kenya, but it kind of ends up Ethiopia and Eritrea. So it's Ethiopia 1-2 and Eritrea taking that 3rd, the bronze spot. Hapton Samuel, a PB, 7 minutes 52.
Well, they did really well off a kind of slow, sedate first kilometre at 8-minute pace. The whole field really lifting and rewarded with some PBs. Not Tadesse Worku, the man on your screen. He came in with a 7:34, but a 7:42 championship record in the first running of the event. I think that could take some beating when we come back round for these championships the next time. It will say Tadesse Worku, champion with that championship record of 7:42. But Ali Abdulmana has got to say thank you to his teammate for a shiny new PB of 7:44. He was a fantastic pacemaker, and Hapton Samuel as well, 7:52.69, personal best in 3rd place for the Eritrean.
We knew the final was going to be fast, we knew it was going to be exciting, and it lived up to that for sure. Abdulmane there from Ethiopia will be ecstatic with his silver medal. We can see exactly how the race unfolded then. 7.5 laps was what lie ahead of these athletes. 16 in total took to the track. Really steady early pace set though by the Ugandan athletes out in front. That was Yeko trying to set an early pace. Worku then realised it wasn't exactly what he was after and needed to head to the front and really control it, and then it was Ethiopia 1-2 for much of the race. When they put that surge in, they really opened up the field. Only Eritrea, 2 Eritrean athletes tried to go with them, but only one of them could really hold on to the pace. As Worku there, we saw him absolutely motoring down the home straight, putting a 10-metre lead between himself and his teammates, saluting his teammates who are watching in the stadium this evening. Worku then stopping his watch as well. I love it when the athletes do that. Wants his official time. Are our timings not good enough for you, Worku? Of course they are. Bends down onto the track there.
If it's not on Strava, did it happen though?
Did it happen if it's not on Strava? You have to go and check that later, Hannah. Has it gone up on Strava? Let's again get the confirmation of the men's 3,000 metre final. Tadesse Worku, championship record, 7:42.09. Second, the silver medal, Ali Abdulmani, PB, 7:44.55. And the bronze medal going to Eritrea, Hapton Samuel, a PB of 7:52.69. 2 more PBs as well in 4th and 5th. Very exciting. First ever men's 3,000 metre final. Love to see that as well. I wonder if the fact that we are actually above sea level, 1,600 metres here, Hannah, in Kenya at the Kasarani Stadium, I wonder how much that affected these athletes, and maybe if the Ethiopian athletes used that to their advantage a little bit here.
Absolutely, this is not an insignificant altitude here in Nairobi. It will affect the athletes, and the Ethiopians and the Kenyans and maybe the Ugandans and those Eritreans, they're used to this altitude, so that will be to their favour, but that's going to play out in some of these other longer events as well, with the steeplechases, the 5,000 metres, the women's 3,000 metres as well.
Well, back to the javelin then, because we still have qualification going on for the men. So we have the athlete then from Lithuania in his 3rd round throw. What can he do in this one? Ridzavistus here. came into this with a personal best of 71.21. He was looking for 73 to automatically go through to the final on Friday. Sitting in 9th at the moment, progresses to 6th because he gets 67.51 in his third event. Will this be enough, though, to progress those finals on Friday from the athlete from Lithuania? Have to wait and see, because we'll get confirmation of what they all did in Group A, but you can see there are only 2 athletes got over the 73-metre mark. 2 massive throws of 77 metres each, 77.15 from Felfner and 77.10 from Lasper. So great marks put down by both those athletes to really make a statement to the rest of these athletes in this men's javelin qualification event.
So we'll see Giovanni Frantini from Italy. This is his 3rd attempt. The closing stages of this competition, he's on at 66.52 is his best throw so far. But at Kumar, apologies, is up next. Kumar is sitting on a 70.34, so he hasn't got the automatic qualifying mark yet. But Jay Kumar there. Can he follow in the footsteps of Neeraj Chopra, the Indian champion in Tokyo, taking India's first ever gold medal at the Olympics? Started that campaign at the World Junior Championships in 2019. He's the championship record holder with 86.48 back from Bydgoszcz in 2016 in that edition of these games. But Kumar, 70 metres, 11 centimetres, so his best throw will be 70.34 from the first round. You'd hope that 3rd place overall in this pool would be enough to progress him to the final. Now it's Wilson Ladimai from Kenya. Kenya with that Julius Yego performance in 2015. So inspirational. Taught himself how to throw on YouTube, all the way to a World Championship title. But Wilson Ladimai from Kenya. That was his final round throw. He finished the competition on 66.71. So you can see there those automatic qualifiers, Arta Feltner and Jarne Lasper. Those 2 over that 73-metre mark. No one else in that pool qualifying automatically. But we do have the overall results, qualification summary there with that huge throw from Namdi of Nigeria, 78.02, just ahead of Arta Felfner. And you can see those non-automatic qualifiers thick and fast in that javelin throw. There were a lot of gentlemen that qualified not with that 73 mark, but by merit of being 12 furthest throws out of those 2 groups of qualification. They will contest the men's javelin final on Friday afternoon. But that is our final action. You can see these Ethiopians pleased from that men's 3,000 metres, I'm sure, enjoyed their afternoon in the track, but we will move towards the medal ceremonies to conclude this afternoon session of day 1.
Well, the medals then are waiting for these athletes with the flowers as well. This is such an exciting moment for the athletes from the mixed 4x400 metres relay. Poland come out to collect their medals. They finished 2nd as silver medalists here. Obviously putting them on themselves due to the now normal circumstances we find. Great result for the Polish athletes. 3:19.80. Next up, we have the champions Nigeria come and collect their gold medals and their flowers. 3:19.70, a championship record for Nigeria. And our bronze medalists collecting theirs. It was India. They came for a medal, they left with a bronze. Their time, 3:20.60, season's best for the Indian quartet. And this is Just such a brilliant event, which I love. That
The
was
medalists
introduced
will be
back in
acknowledged by
2017 now. The World Relays in Bahamas, then it made
Sebastian
its
Coe,
debut at
World
the Under-18
Athletics
event here in this stadium. The Lord Seb Coe then, President of World Athletics, is out in Nairobi at the Kasarani Stadium.
Bronze medalists, India.
Watching the action unfold. Well,
India.
India then, bronze medalists
Sridhar,
here,
Priya
making
Mohan,
history. Their
Sunny
head
and
coach
Kapil.
thought they were fast. They've been at a camp for 2 weeks. Prior to this, getting ready. And ready they were. Ready for the bronze.
Silver medalists, Poland.
Washindi wa fedha, Poland.
Mikael Robel, Cornelia Lusewicz,
Poland then
Alicia
with the
Kazmarek,
silver.
and Patrick Gregor-Luskwitz.
Getting quite comfortable on a mixed 4x4 relay rostrum. Olympics, obviously, they took the top honours. The senior 4x4 mixed team. Their time 3:19.8.
Gold medalists and
Zero
World Under-20
season's
champions,
best.
Nigeria.
But these are your World Under-20 champions. The Nigerian team
Johnson,
in that
Namani,
beautiful green
Imaro
tracksuit,
and Nsiuko,
which have seen them
Opeyemi
racing around the
Deborah
track.
Oke, and
Championship
Bamidele
record,
Ajayi.
3:19.70. They bettered that championship record. They set it in the heats as well, then went even faster. We knew how fast they were. They
Ladies
came
and
out
gentlemen, the anthem
on top.
of Nigeria.
Mabibi na mabwana, wimbo wa taifa la Nigeria.
Ladies and gentlemen, please acknowledge our World Under-20 Championship medalists.
Well, history